Welcome to What's Trending with Tire Review, presented by Apex. I'm Maddie Weiner, and today on the podcast, we're joined by Shawn Denlein, President of Sales and Marketing for Kumho Tire USA. Shawn, thanks for being with us today. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Maddie. Yes, looking forward to speaking with you. Great to see you.
Thanks. Same to you. So Kumho's had a lot going on this year. You guys recently launched the Solus TA51a, a grand touring all-season tire. So tell us about that tire, what that replaces, and the response you've gotten from the market on that product.
So we launched that tire roughly 2 months ago, and that replaced 3 treads, actually. So it replaced the TA11, which is a standard touring tire, TA31, and TA71, which is a grand touring tire. Some of the big things about the product line is that it covers a wide variety of sizes. So there's 82 sizes. So It's really good because it fits SUVs, CUVs, and sedans. And one of the things that you'll notice about that tire is it has an A at the end of it. So the A stands for America. It's the first time that we've ever done this. The reasoning behind it is because we wanted the consumer to understand that the attributes of the product really represent the United States. I mean, we're a global company, and also a global manufacturer, but in this particular case, we really wanted to showcase to the consumer that this product was made for the US. In terms of feedback, the dealers themselves really like the design of the tire. They really like the size lineup because, as you know, in today's environment, dealers are really concerned about their inventory. They're keeping a close watch on their inventory. So this kind of allows them to carry one tread across the large footprint. We also had the dealers go out and test the tire beforehand. We got a lot of positive reviews with that, which was good. So I think what we did here is we developed a tire that's really fits the grand touring market. It has the attributes of a tire that's good in wet, winter, and at the same time, we don't sacrifice that dry handling and the comfortability of the product.
Right.
And as far as the consumer is, the tire's only been out for 2 months, but we're hoping that we get some positive feedback from the consumers on it. What's interesting is that from a company perspective, we chose to really go in full throttle with this product because this product has grown like in the last 6 years, roughly 6% at the grand touring market. We don't expect it to grow that much. 2.5% is what we're projecting out over the next few years, but it's still a sizable part of the market.
Right.
And this grand touring has really taken over that standard touring and that broad market, which is T, speed rated, and less. So this is really bread and butter for a manufacturer. So you really have to come out with a product that performs.
Yeah, for sure. And you were talking about, you said 82 sizes. Did I hear that right?
82 sizes, T, H, and V.
Okay. So yeah, we've been seeing a lot of those sort of, I don't know, I like to call them like mega lines or mega tire lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, kind of covering a lot of different fitments. Can you maybe go into the reason for doing that?
Well, it's, as the market grows, the CUV market is growing, as you know.
Right.
There's a point in time where well over 50% of the vehicles are going to be on some type of platform like that. And so I think it's just important for companies to have such a broad size lineup to cover those fitments. So you have that crossover CUV, and you still have this product line that can still service the sedans, but, it really targets in on that. And, you get that quiet, comfortable ride too.
Yeah. No, makes sense. And definitely an exciting launch for you guys.
Yes, very exciting for us.
So Shawn, you mentioned the launch of the Solus TA51a, consolidates 2 products into one. And Kumho has been simplifying other product lines as well, like its MT tire. So can you give us an update on how all of that's going, all of the, sort of line consolidation, if you will?
So that started in 2018 when we started this strategy of trying to consolidate all the lines. And, there's a lot of benefits to this. One, you have an extreme benefit from the manufacturing side because you're able to concentrate obviously just on one tread. so it makes the efficiency much better.
Right.
Even to go along with that, even when we actually inventory product, we're only inventorying basically one tread. So from a developmental side, it's also important because it allows the engineers just to focus on one tread. So you're not focusing on multiple treads. Therefore, that you put your focus on really trying to create what we would call like a best-in-class product. And then from the dealer side, like I said, you're carrying less inventory and it's not as complicated. So overall, that just continues to be the strategy. Funny, but back in 2018, we had 13 treads.
Oh,
And now
okay.
we have 9.
Wow.
And we have one left, which is the ultra high performance.
Mm.
That currently has PS31 and PS91.
Is that
And in
the Extra
2000,
line? Is that correct?
yeah. So
Okay.
we'll have
Yep.
that. We'll end up being consolidated in 2025. So moving forward, we'll basically hover around 8-9 treads, and it just makes life cycles easier for us, and obviously easier is better even for the dealers, as you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so much SKU proliferation in the market today, and
Yeah.
it's probably easier, just inventory wise for dealers. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes, and definitely we'll keep an eye out on those products. So for Kumho, I'm curious, kind of switching gears here. What do you see are some maybe growing tire segments that Kumho has its eye on for maybe some possible category introductions or something like that?
Well, obviously, number one with everybody is EV.
Yeah, right. Of course.
I mean, EV, everyone has their eye on EV. I mean, it's like the new buzzword in the industry. We're at this point, we're integrating our technology into existing products for EV. We do have a proprietary technology called K-Silent. And
Okay.
just a high level view of K-Silent, the premise is to create a product that reduces noise. This was one of the challenges in that industry in terms of EV.
Right.
The other thing too with us is that we do have 2 OE fitments. We're EV6, the Kia EV6, and the Volkswagen ID4.
Right. Yeah.
From our standpoint, we're taking a look to see how the industry shakes out. Right now, our direction would be more towards creating products for EV, dedicated product lines. So for summer, winter, that going along that route is kind of where we're headed now. Another segment would be the RT segment.
Mm-hmm.
So the rugged terrain segment become very popular with consumers. We have our full complement of truck, the Krugen HT51, the AT52, and then also the Road Venture MT71. So the RT segment, as you know, that's that hybrid between the AT and the MT. So that's a segment that we're currently working on bringing out a product for that segment. Another segment that's actually really, really big is the all-weather segment.
Totally.
So
Yes.
we had a product called the HA31. That product was really more towards regionally based, dedicated, and it wasn't really fully supported in the complement of Kumho products.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next year or so, we'll come out with a all-weather product. And one of the key points here is that in the past 3 years, that segment's grown 32%.
Oh, wow.
And we're thinking what we're thinking is this year it's going to grow 23+% in an industry, as you know, that's down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Which is interesting for that segment.
Yeah. So for us, from a growth perspective, I mean, coming out with an RT, and then also coming out with the all-weather product, and then we're already focused in EV. There's a good growth potential for Kumho in those particular segments that we have our eyes on.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like it. And the RT segment and the all-weather, we've definitely been hearing from manufacturers of, those are 2 segments that they're going after. And also the EV. I'm curious, you mentioned that Kumho's sort of strategy around that is having dedicated tire lines in addition to, sort of more, I guess, ICE vehicle focused? Does that make sense?
It
Or
would
am I
be
getting
more.
that
It
right?
would be more. It would at this point. It would be more towards like having an EV um, on the sidewall. So it would have like
Oh, okay.
the actual, and then slash or some type of form that would say actually EV.
Got it. Got it. And all that is in the works, sort of in
That all
development.
that's currently in the works. Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, I'm interested to see how that rolls out. And now you guys also, Kumho also announced a few years ago an expansion of its U.S. tire plant in Macon, Georgia, that was
Yeah.
slated to increase capacity by, I have 500,000 units per year.
Yes.
So, a Q4 2022 completion date was on the books for that. You guys also announced that, you're doubling capacity at your Vietnam plant with a huge investment. So where does the U.S. plant stand now with capacity?
So the Macon, Georgia plant was delayed and primarily due to the pandemic kind of hangover, so to speak.
Right. Yep.
So you're correct, 3.2 million units. And in 2024, we'll move to that number of 3.7, which is adding 500,000 units.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
from the Vietnam side, now the Vietnam plant is a plant it's we get a lot of production from there, so it really services the U.S. Last year, that plant was producing 5 million tires. Now the plant is producing to the schedule of 10 million. And
Oh,
then
wow.
in 2024, it will reach the capacity of 12 million tires. So really good for our customers here that plan is really there for the U.S. and that capacity to really service this U.S. market.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, no, for sure. And so is the Solus TA51a, you said that A at the end stands for America, correct?
Yes.
So is that tire being made at the Macon plant or a little bit of both or
No. So that tire's coming out of the Vietnam plant. Really, the reason for the A is because when we designed the tire is for the American market. So
got it.
when we looked at the tire, designed it, there's certain attributes of this particular market
Yeah,
that are much different than the European or Asian market.
right.
Consumers are a little bit more focused here on like low noise, durability. So that's really why we did the A. The A was more for a technological, denotion than anything else.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I know that dealers, that's a selling point for dealers too, is, this product was made in America. A lot of consumers like to hear that. And, if not made, R&D and, tested here too. So that I know is
Yeah,
a selling point.
yeah. I think in the industry, there are products that are sold in other areas, and it's hard to make a perfect tire. I don't think anyone makes a perfect tire,
Right.
and I think that as consumers, they want a perfect product. But when you start to develop products that are more for global markets, including your market, you do run into some challenges in
Yeah.
terms of what the consumer demands here in the U.S. versus, someone in Europe that might not necessarily be more focused on. They're not as focused more on like treadwear as
Yeah,
we are here in
totally.
the U.S., for example.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And sort of speaking along the lines of, expanding capacity, obviously that affects, warehousing in the U.S. And so with additional capacity that you guys are adding to, both plants, the Vietnam and the Macon, Georgia one, you guys also, Kumho announced the addition of 2 warehouses, one in Dallas and another in Louisiana, expected to open in 2026. So how
Yes.
will these projects help Kumho's U.S. dealers?
So right now, we have a warehouse on the West Coast in California, and then we have a warehouse on the East Coast in Georgia.
Yeah,
And when we looked at the serviceability and the demands of the dealers, we wanted to put a warehouse where we felt like we could service a good network of our dealers. So we chose Dallas. And, for the obvious reason, to better service the central part of the US.
Oh, okay.
And so that's really the main purpose there. And, for the dealers, you cut down lead times. You're able to, obviously have more product.
Right.
And
Yep.
you're also able to have the product, what they need in a timely basis. The Louisiana in 2026 will help us better service that Southeast. And then also
Okay.
that warehouse too will be not far from the port. So, for us, we have the warehouse in California, which is not far from the Long Beach port.
Right.
And then we have the warehouse here in Georgia, which is not far from the Savannah port. And now, we'll have the one in Louisiana, which will enable us to utilize that port. So it gives us a lot of flexibility with that.
Hmm.
So, when the other thing too is that the warehouses allow us to bring more product in,
Hmm.
and
Right.
and have safety stock, which is really important, and take advantage of business opportunities that come up, and we don't have to wait a couple months because we have the inventory stateside.
Right. Yeah. And every tire manufacturer I talked to during the pandemic, obviously supply, you mentioned it earlier, supply was a huge challenge. So, yeah. So you're saying bringing more of that supply local, whether it's made here or made elsewhere, and having it on hand. So
Yeah, because
dealers.
I think everybody a little bit learned too from the pandemic was like their supply chains, their
Yeah.
warehouse, their
Hmm.
proximity to ports. Everybody got their safety stock when we were coming out of COVID, kind of got eaten up by the dealers because business got back in a quick way, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
in past, manufacturers would have safety stocks, but that was a bit of a challenge for all of us. So I think, and also, like I said, I think you need to take advantage of opportunities right away when they come. And if you have product here, then you can take advantage of some quick wins that you might have with some of your customers.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, and dealers will be happy about that, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to seem like we're someone else's warehouse, but we're trying to provide the products that they need in a quick manner.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. Well, Shawn, just to wrap up here, what do you want dealers to know about the Kumho Tire brand, going forward into 2023? And can you mention any new products that we can expect this year?
So this year, the sole product that we launched was the TA51a, which was two
Yep.
months ago.
Hmm.
Um, as far as the brand is concerned, a few things I would say, not necessarily in any order, but I would say the first two would be paramount. And that would be communication. Yeah, I've been in the industry for almost, believe it or not, 30 years, and
Yeah. Wow.
I really learned that communication is important.
Yeah.
Communication in what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. I think you need to communicate, because if you don't do that, then you're just not listening. And as you know, because you've been in the industry too for a little bit, that it's changed a lot over the years, and
Totally.
everybody's business is really different. So,
Yep.
we really have to take the advice of the dealers and try to learn as much as we can and try to adapt. The other thing too and we're doing more and more of this every year, and this is important, and we're doing this with a lot of dealers, and that's collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically around, our products and our programs. And I think that, as we've evolved as an industry, logistics are extremely important. And I think that, collaborating helps both companies meet some of the challenges that we have in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
For sure.
I also, from a marketing perspective, we've been doing a lot of good things over the past few years. I like to call it like we have what we would call more of like an outside the box strategy.
Yeah.
Our prints a lot different than others. Our tag that we use, for instance, TA51 fits on everything. Um,
Yeah.
we're using very different types of ads. Our social and digital, I also think is very unique to the industry. We're using a lot of memes, which has
Mm-hmm.
provided some real success for us, because our target audience is 18 to 35. That's really where we're generating a lot of our social and digital.
Oh,
And
okay.
we've had a lot of success. I mean, in the last 2 years, our followers have grown 400%.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been really happy with that. The marketing department has really hit their targets. And for 2023, just to give you some examples,
Yeah.
some of our posts, roughly 1.5 million views and over 250,000, stand corrected, in engagements.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
wow. Yeah.
we've really pivoted our social and digital and our print to be a little bit more, not I would say, not traditional in this particular space of tires.
For sure.
And we really, in the marketing side, we really want to see engagement. We really want to connect to the consumer, try to understand the consumer. So if we can build that personal relationship, they can understand the brand. Lastly, I would say for our customers, we still continue to sponsor the NBA.
Oh, right.
And,
Yep.
we've been doing this for many years. People say, well, why do you do this? And I tell them that, it's on the social and digital platforms of NBA.com and NBA TV. But what it allows us to do is that we touch a consumer that's not normally surfing the internet on social channels around tires. So if we can
Right.
bring
Right.
them in and engage, we can have a conversation with that. And the other thing is that our, target audience is 18 to 35. So the NBA has the youngest audience of all professional sports.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
it really fits what we're trying to do. So, you know, if you kind of analyze everything that we've done, we've consolidated our product lines. We're trying to make things simple for the dealers. We're adding warehouses and we're adding more product, and we're also adding more capacity in Vietnam. So we're trying to touch a lot of the points that dealers are interested in, and we're trying to stay real focused on the marketing strategy and who we're actually trying to target. So, I think since I've been here since 2018, we really built out a real nice timeline for Wakusa here in the U.S., where we kind of really hit our target. So we're really looking forward to the next few years of growth based on what we've built up already.
Yeah. And it sounds like a lot of growth is on the way, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we're even in a market that is, as down roughly 6%. We're up compared to last year, and we're outpacing the market. So, we're pretty excited about the second half of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know we're excited to see what's coming from you guys. And Shawn, thanks so much for being on the podcast today. I've enjoyed our conversation, and I really appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you very much. Look forward to doing it again. Thanks.
Yeah, sounds good.